Hello, my name is Andreina Velasco. I'm the Grow Your Own Navigator for the David Douglas School District. I want to welcome you to this very brief overview of our January 12th Grow Your Own Educator Roundtable, where participants and attendees had an opportunity to hear directly from Grow Your Own educators about the impact the program has had on their lives and the students that they serve. Due to unforeseen technical issues, the first part of our GYO Educator Roundtable Zoom recording was corrupted. While an overview will never replace the powerful testimonials that were shared that day, we do want to honor our speakers by sharing who they were and their key messages about the impact of the GYO program on their lives. This very brief overview will be followed by the recording of the second part of the GYO Educator Roundtable, in which you will be able to hear moving testimonials directly from our speakers. Our first speaker was Tafena Campos-Macon, Westside Connect's Executive Director and Grow Your Own Community Partner in Washington County. She set the intention and welcomed our attendees to the space, which included legislators, philanthropists, current educators, future educators, and our overall GYO supportive community. The reason why we were at the roundtable was to advocate for funding to continue through June 2027, as was promised to our GYO participants. In the long term, the goal of the roundtable was to educate about the importance of GYO funding and programs. The bottom line is that Oregon needs GYOs and GYOs need funding. That's it. The first most powerful legislative perspective was from Representative Susan McLean of the Oregon House District 29. She is also a member of the Joint Ways and Means Subcommittee on Education and has a powerful perspective on the history of the GYO program, which was never a one-year program. It was always a long-term solution to the complex issue of diversifying and stabilizing our educator workforce. Both in the rural and urban areas, teacher pathways have helped us achieve state goals, according to Representative McLean, of better professional training and educator prep, workforce diversity, and a stable workforce. GYO programs work, as Ms. Representative McLean stated. It's one of the most successful programs that we have funded, and taking it away makes no fiscal sense. It also impacts our ability to increase highly qualified, diverse teachers in our classrooms with Oregon students. Representative McLean was followed by two incredibly powerful testimonials from rural educators. Logan Nedrow from Teach Rural Oregon, North Powder School District, shared a powerful testimonial of how the GYO program provided her with the opportunity, funding-wise, mentorship-wise, to remain in the community that she grew up with as an educator, something that she could have never imagined or done without the GYO program that supported her. And Killian also shared from his perspective as a Teach Rural Oregon participant, how he was able to create an experience, have a student teaching experience in a one-room schoolhouse where he teaches students from 4th all the way up to 8th grade. He's able to take them out into nature, something that he loves, to prepare for fires. He was even able to live in school district housing and purchase his own home. So truly, the GYO program allowed him to build intergenerational wealth and give his community the opportunity, and his students the opportunity, to experience their community and want to stay in their community. This rural perspective was then followed by an urban perspective on the GYO program, starting with Andre Goodlow, the Director of Teaching and Learning at Parkrose School District. From a district perspective, he shared the impact on Parkrose, a district that he leads, which has hired 12 Grow Your Own members for licensed positions. Very movingly, Goodlow also shared that his brother has been a recipient of the Grow Your Own funding and was able to achieve his dream of becoming a special education teacher, and currently is a unified basketball coach. This was followed by Miss Renee Anderson, a lifelong educator and founder of the Oregon Alliance of Black School Educators, who noted that without the Grow Your Own program, students who identify as Black or African American would have even less access to educators that look like them, that can sustain them, and that benefit all students, Black and from other racial backgrounds. She noted that the total of Oregon school employees is 81,800, and the total of Black school employees is 2,169. So just 2.65% of our school employees identify as Black or African American, while 32% of our students are Black and African American. There is a disconnect between representation, and GYO programs are what make that representation possible. Now let's transition to part 2 of our recording, where you will be able to hear directly from Grow Your Own educators and supporters. Welcome, James and Mel. James, please start.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. I definitely want to start out with a lot of gratitude right now. There are many people who have directly or indirectly helped me move from the Portland Public School District, cross on over to Parkrose District, and I basically wouldn't be where I currently am now if it wasn't for the help of names like Andre Goodlow, Kevin Spooner. We're talking about Sassy. We're talking about Ugo, PCC teachers that I've had. The Tanya Meads, the Umas, the Alejandras, the Pedros. I think I might have a couple cohorts in here with me as well. I currently have a page is doing my observations right now for my student teaching. What I wanted to bring up and give those shout outs of gratitude for is that we are literally connected, and that's literally what matters. Um, and unfortunately, if the finances were to stop, for me, I'm good. I feel privileged because I'm going to be able to graduate this year, 2026. And then there will be like 1 year left over for the 2027s. But what about the 2028s? What about the 2029s? What about all of the potential greatness that could happen being teachers and educators for the years go on? Guess what? It won't. It's that simple. It won't. So programs like this will automatically help those who actually want to be caring teachers and educators to do just that. Last year, I won 2025 Coach of the Year, Junior NBA, WNBA Coach of the Year. Okay. And guess who's watching? My students. That's who are watching. Okay. And they are thrilled to have a teacher like me who looks like them, but not also who looks like them, but who can relate to them even when we're different. Okay. So
Oh no, we lost you, James. I think you just went on mute for a second.
okay, I think
There we
am I
go.
back now?
You're back. You're
Perfect.
back. Yes.
Yes. Just like how that little unmute interruption happened, that's what will be the voice if this does not continue. Okay. So long story short, um, again, you won't be able to move forward unless you know what's behind you. That's why I give gratitude to the educators who have helped boost me to move forward. And it is okay to brag in the most positive light because again, we want our kids to see that. We want our children, we want our families. And by the way, it wasn't some just board who was like elected me to win my coach of the year situation. Guess what it was? It was a family member in the community who decided to do that. Let's be the ones to reach out. Let's have the families in our communities reach out to us And again, what matters is who's watching, and those are our students. So I thank you all for listening and being here. Let's continue to move forward.
Preach King is what you could have seen in the chat. That's right. Gracias, 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 James. And now let's pass it on to another incredible GYO participant, Mel Borbon-Tabarez.
Hello, everybody. My name is Melanie Borbon-Tabarez. Though I am known as Mel throughout the community, I am a proud 2023 graduate of David Douglas High School and currently work for the David Douglas School District as a learning specialist instructional assistant at Ron Russell Middle School. I am also an active participant member in the GYO program. I'm currently almost completing my associate's degree through Portland Community College as part of my pathway towards becoming a licensed educator. And as Andreina shared, my goal is to be a social studies teacher in the secondary level with a endorsement for English language learners. For some context, I was offered a placement in the Grow Your Own program immediately after graduating high school. And it was truly an opportunity that completely changed the trajectory of my educational and professional journey. Through Grow Your Own, I was connected to an internship that led to my first school-based position at West Palhurst Elementary School. And that experience provided me with invaluable and hands-on experience and mentorship and allowing me to grow to be a more confident and prepared educator. And I think it reflects who I will be as a future educator as well, once I'm a licensed educator. And being able to work directly with students while continuing my education affirmed my commitment to this profession, and it solidified my long-term goals of teaching. I joined Grow Your Own because of its mission and its values. As someone who grew up in the David Douglas School community, I have always felt a deep responsibility to give back to the district that invested so much for me. GYO has supported me not only academically and financially, but personally as well. The program has offered me consistent guidance, mentorship, and navigating support and helping me understand college systems and career pathways and the realities of becoming an educator while balancing work, school, and my community responsibilities. Without GYO's funding and support, my pathway would be significantly impacted. Financially, I am already facing real hardship paying for tuition and course materials, which would likely delay or interrupt my progress toward a teaching license. I am also a first-generation college student, and navigating higher education has not always been accessible. And without the diligent and consistent support of the Grow Your Own program, I would not have been able to get as far as I have in my educational journey. GYO has helped me understand college systems, how to access my accommodations, financial aid, and career pathways that were unfamiliar to me as a first-generation student. And that guidance has been essential in keeping me enrolled, progressing, and being able to be confident in my ability. I also want to share that the recent cuts have impacted me directly. I've had to take on the financial burden of paying for classes and course material out of pocket, and it's been challenging to have that added stress from an already demanding profession. And I have to balance a full-time job and also be a full-time student and my community responsibilities. And these cuts are not hypothetical. They are already affecting our GYO students who are actively working towards becoming licensed educators. I would also lose access to the mentorship and advocacy that have helped me stay on track and problem solve barriers and remain connected to our opportunities within the district. GYO has provided me the stability during a time when many students, especially students of color and first-generation college students like myself, are most at risk. With the guidance and encouragement of the program, I helped establish the first Latino student union at the elementary school level at West Palhurst Elementary, and I am now supporting the first Latino student union at Ron Russell Middle School. These spaces are deeply meaningful for students of color as they provide a sense of belonging, cultural affirmation, and leadership development. Okay, I have 1 more minute, so I'm gonna cut this short. Grow Your Own plays a critical role in strengthening our district. And David Douglas is one of the most diverse districts in Oregon, with approximately 64% of students identifying as students of color. However, our licensed staff does not yet reflect that diversity. Research consistently shows that students see themselves represented in educators and their experiences, they experience greater belonging, stronger academic outcomes, and improved school climate. Investing in Grow Your Own, um, at its core, and investing is an investment to our students. And when the district supports future educators who reflect the identities and languages and lived experience of the student population, the students get stronger relationship and increased trust and more culturally responsive learning environments. Thank you for considering the importance and the impact of Grow Your Own program. It is shaping future educators and strengthening our district and ensuring that our diverse students are supported by adults who understand their identities, languages, and lived experiences. Before I close, I do want to acknowledge how meaningful it is to see so many familiar faces here today, my past instructors, community members, college partners who have played all a huge role. And I am deeply grateful to be in a space right now with people who actually believe in our students in education and the power of community. Thank you all for being here.
Gracias, James and Mel. We're getting chills. Mel's kindergarten teacher and college teacher are in the Zoom room now, Ceci de Valdenebro. And Tierra was also one of her advisors at the high school. So, gracias. Now we'll move on to our next speakers. We have, we'd like to welcome Michael Dembrow and Dr. Kevin Spooner. Michael Dembrow is a retired state senator who championed alternative educator pathways and the Grow Your Own program in the state Senate. He currently serves on the board of the Higher Education Coordinating Committee, the HEC, which provides the Oregon Teacher Scholars Program funding that helps so many of our Grow Your Own participants. Dr. Spooner is the Associate Dean of Education at Warner Pacific University and has been an instrumental partner in developing seamless pathways for Grow Your Own participants transferring from community college to teacher preparation programs, as James Boland and others on our call have done. Welcome, Senator Dembrow and Dr. Spooner. They will be offering their perspective briefly on educational pathways. Senator Dembrow, please start.
Yes, thank you very much, Andreina. Yes, as Andreina mentioned, I became a really passionate advocate for Grow Your Own while I was the chair of the Senate Education Committee, which, part of that time was COVID. And during COVID and right after COVID, when schools reopened, we became acutely aware of the crisis in the educator workforce. And we also came to understand that the pandemic, as it did with so many other things, really just revealed weaknesses that were already there, that we were already facing serious challenges, especially in three areas: special education, our rural educators, and our goals of diversifying the workforce. We were falling short in all three of those areas. I set up a number of task forces and work groups, and some of the people on this call I see were part of that process, and I really appreciate that, your work on that. What we also came to understand was that there were many, many teachers who were working under provisional or special licenses. And many of them had been working as education assistants, as paraprofessionals, or for other reasons, were not yet fully licensed. And the more we came to understand the problem and came to understand potential solutions, the Grow Your Own model just made so much sense. For all the reasons that Andre said earlier about the way that, you're taking people who are in community, who are committed to their workforces, who are gonna stay. We have a big problem in this state of people leaving the workforce within the first 3 years because they're just, it may have had something to do with their formation, but a lot of it was they didn't have that, really direct kind of experience that they needed. And so we came to understand really the value of doing that as grow your own programs or apprenticeship kinds of models, which, I will say in my work as a legislator also, I've been working with a lot of colleagues across the country, and we're seeing more and more interest in grow your own and more commitment to it. And I have to say, although I'm very happily retired now, I'm very unhappy to see the challenge that Grow Your Own is facing. And I think that these are tough times, as Rep. McLean mentioned. This next year or two is going to be a real challenge, and people are going to have to get creative. But if, even though the resources will be meager, I think the more people understand the kinds of success stories that you've already heard today, the kinds of difference that we're seeing across the nation, I think some resources should be able to be found. But it's going to take everyone on this call reaching out to their legislators to really push for that. And I will say, I know that your districts are really strained. I know that your colleges are really strained. Colleges and universities, everyone's taking hits. And the state certainly is because of the federal cuts that are being experienced. But I would encourage you to encourage everyone in your facilities to be creative, try to find ways to keep this going, to support students like Mel, to find ways to keep them going, to push for philanthropy, and to look at your colleagues across the country as well, because you are seeing some interesting kinds of creative solutions to keeping apprenticeship programs going. So anyway, with that, and I do want to say that, as was mentioned, one of the successes that we've seen in Grow Your Own has been the way that there have been partnerships between school districts and community colleges and universities, both public and private, such as we've never seen before. And that needs to be maintained. But remember, when times get tough, it becomes harder to partner. That's crazy, because when times are tough, that's when you need to partner. But unfortunately, what's at risk is everybody kind of going their own way. But really, please, I urge you to commit to working together to find creative solutions and to do the kind of thing that you're doing here today. Thanks for everyone who set this up.
Thank you so much, Senator Dembrow. Great segue to Dr. Spooner, who will speak to those partnerships, and then we'll close off with our last GYO participants and mentors.
Thank you, Michael. Well said. And I'm going to keep this really short. Please time me. I'm going to try to keep it under a minute. Michael was talking about just the vast structures that are out there and the huge partnerships that we have with universities, community colleges, school districts. Warner Pacific happens to be very fortunate to be working with some amazing partnerships with school districts in the East County here, especially David Douglas School District, Parkrose, who are represented here. And I want to give a shout out to all the other university partners who are here today that have been represented: East Oregon, Oregon State, and Pacific. There's others. Forgive me if I didn't recognize you. I do also want to shout out Nate Washul, who I know is on the call or showed up here for a while, who really set a lot of the structure and our partnerships here in East County with Multnomah Grow Your Own. A big shout out to him and his work, years ago. Warner Pacific recently, you may have heard or read about this, received a federal grant from Hawkins Center for Educational Excellence, and our work was to support our partnerships with community colleges and grow your own work. Unfortunately, you may have heard those funds were rescinded, but man, we were able to get a grant, local grant from the United Way to fill in for those funds that were pulled away, to provide tuition support to our candidates who are part of our Grow Your Own partnerships here. And again, really grateful to PCC especially. We've spent a lot of time developing this partnership. We're grateful. Our students are grateful. I want to give a shout out to James again, and to our other Warner Pacific candidates who are here, as well as candidates and folks at PCC all the way through. It really is a privilege to be supporting you all. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Spooner. Yes, Nate, an incredible leader and coalition builder. So thank you. We're following in your footsteps. Now we'll move into our last section, and we want to close off strong with our incredible GYO participants and their stories. I would now like to welcome our last Grow Your Own participant speakers. Apolonia Baltazar is an Indigenous educator currently working in the Forest Grove School District. Thúy Nguyen is a Vietnamese educator currently working in the David Douglas School District. Both recently transferred from Portland Community College to Warner Pacific University's teacher preparation program. So speaking about those partnerships and seamless systems working. Welcome, Apolonia and Thúy. Apolonia, please start. Apolonia, are you here? See.
Sometime her.
Yes. Sorry, my computer is going slow.
Okay, great. Thanks, Apolonia. We can hear you now.
Okay, perfect. Hello, my name is Apolonia Moniz Baltazar, and like previously said, I work for the Forest Grove School District. The reason why I'm here is I am a first-generation student, so my parents never went to school, and if my dad was the only one that went up to second grade. My parents are from Guatemala, and so education back then and at the little town my parents were from wasn't something that was mandatory for them. And so I grew up with two brothers, older brothers. I went to school and did all that, and I'm the only one that's gone to university. So seeing that in my family, being able to have that support of the Grow My Own program has helped me so much. I don't feel, at first, when I thought about going to college, I said, am I going to be able to do this? Being a single mother, working full time, have, curriculums for all my kids, doing things, I was overwhelmed. And then I was told about this program by my administrator, and she said, I think you would be a good candidate for this. And so I went for it. And I started with one class. And because the program was able to pay for my classes, I continued, and I was taking 4 classes at first. And now I have my associates. I'm at Warner Pacific University. This is my first year there, but I have not stopped and looked back. And for this reason, I feel like if this program was cut financially, I would not be able to pay for my classes. And I don't even think it would be something that would come to my mind and say, hey, let me continue this path if this is going to be another burden to me, another something where I can't, the money we get paid, everything that's expensive, it's just really hard. And I am truly grateful for everything that this program has done for me, and not only me, but for the students that we help in our schools, because we are learning to be able to help them for the future. We are here not only to support for us, but for support our families, our students, our community. We are here to not better our school, but better everything else in between. And so I want to give a shout out to all my teachers that are here today. Ceci, Alonso here. We have, sorry, I'm like drawing blanks, but everybody that was able to be on my side, holding my hand, telling me, hey, Apolonia, it's going to be okay. You got this. Don't worry about it. I will help you along the way. If I didn't have these people with me, I don't think I wouldn't be the way I am today or where I am today. So I am grateful for this. And if it does get cut, I will be very sad for my colleagues that are really starting, because like me, there's a lot of us that don't have that support from our parents, that don't have that financial support. And so without this program, I think a lot of us wouldn't continue our path that we are in today. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for being here tonight and supporting this program and advocating for each one of us.
Mil gracias, Apolonia. And now, Thúy.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me fine? Okay. My name is Thúy Nguyễn. I graduated from the class of 2008, and I'm currently a junior at Warner Pacific University, and I'm a full-time employee at the David Douglas School District. Before Andreina, Velasco, the pathway navigator of the Grow Your Own, found me, I had been a staying-at-home mom since I graduated from high school. Being a staying-at-home mom was the most blessing thing that ever happened to me. However, there was one setback. Without a college degree or work experience, finding a job that fit my family was incredibly hard. I did whatever I could to build myself up. I was working at nighttime as a janitor, cleaning an office, while my husband and my children sleeping. And then on weekend, I would lie that I would go out for an errand, but I actually pick up an extra work to clean up people's house. Yet I still maintain being the wife and the mother that my family need of me. During that time, I remember the word of my grandmother, my aunt, and my mom, all single mother, advised me as I was growing up that education, stability, and independence matter. I felt the weight of that truth deeply. So when Andreina found me, I felt that somehow the above had led her to me, and she had heard the voice that was crying deep inside of me. Ever since being lifted by the Grow Your Own program, I finally began to see myself in a new way. If this funding discontinues, not just I, but all of us in the Grow Your Own will lose the chance to grow beyond our role as a para-educator and assistant. Without a pathway to become a teacher, what does that mean for our student, family, and school? Does it look promising? I remember when I was in high school, there were many Asian students, but only one teacher of color. Isn't this why we established the Grow Your Own funding back in 2021? As a para-educator and assistant, many of us struggle. Many of us struggle multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Supporting ourselves through schooling often feels outreach. And without the funding from the Grow Your Own program, I know it would have been impossible for me in this lifetime because of the support that once felt unreachable for many of us is now becoming a reality. Yes, each day is a struggle trying to be a wife, a mom to two teenager boys working and a student going to college. Some days are hard and seem unmanageable when I'm being pulled in many different directions. Despite of all the conflict, my goal of completing college and earning a degree and being with my student, helping the family and supporting the school keep me motivated and comfort on difficult days. If I still have the opportunity to continue and complete this path, I will be, well, counting as of now, a year and a half, I will be graduating alongside with my firstborn, as he will be graduating from high school. That moment will be very special to my heart because when I graduate from high school, I was pregnant with him. I know the past year have been full of uncertainty, but that is why we are here today. As para-educator and assistant, we have been the backbone for not only our family, but also our student, their family, our teacher, our school, both academically and emotionally through the challenge like distant learning during COVID and the fear of immigration enforcement. We choose to stay with compassion, resilient, and persevering. We will use the experience that we gain and the knowledge that we learn to transform and lead the class with love, equality, safety, and growth. This is why completing this path matters. Therefore, I ask you to have faith in us, to continue to support the Grow Your Own funding. I believe we are the future and the change our student, family, and school need.
Oh my gosh, Thúy, gracias. You have us all in tears. Apolonia, all of our incredible GYO participants. This is why we do this work. Our final speaker is one of our mentors, and a mentor in one of the most incredible Grow Your Own programs in our state, the Subsequala GYO Future Teachers Program in Oregon State University. The Subsequala program provides a cohort within a cohort model for students to learn indigenous methodologies for teaching and obtaining Oregon teacher licensure. Valorie Spearman is a Dean of Students in Tigard-Tualatin School District and serves as a mentor in the Subsequala program. She will share her perspective as a mentor for future educators, and she will be our last speaker. We will end with some next steps and are grateful for your presence till the end. Valorie.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. That was quite the introduction. It's University of Oregon, but not Oregon State. So if you're looking for us, look under us.
Oh, sorry. That's a bad thing, right?
No, it's not. No, it's not. I just want you to make sure you can find us at U of O, because I don't think you'll find us at OSU. You might find Angie, but you won't find us. Anyway, I wanted to start out with a visual of our native. So this is our native land, right? This is what we're here for. And so I think the importance of this GYO is to get back to our roots and where we come from. This is Mother Earth, and this is what we protect. And we do that through our Grow Your Own at University of Oregon, where we take on a lot of students who may be interested in becoming an educator, or even opening and shining the light on what it means to be that. Even if they don't choose that path right away, they know that option is out there. And so what we do is an amazing time with a bunch of Native American people, and it's so wonderful to work with other Natives. And I think that the biggest key is the relationships and the values that we can spread throughout the education system. So what happens is when we get together, we are with all Natives and we are in a safe space, and we deal with the issues that are coming abroad, such as budget cuts. But it's more than that. It's not just cutting our program, it's taking away our stories and our opportunities. A lot of our youth do not have the mentorship that they would from parents or family members, as they have not been through an education experience that they will be experiencing. So I think it's important to understand that when we lose things like this, we lose who we are as people, and we lose sight of what's happening in our lives. We lose relationships and we lose values. I said this in a video earlier. Our values are what keeps us strong, not a bunch of budgets and lines and numbers. It's what is so important to us. And when we take this GYO, we strip our values and get back to what doesn't really work in education, as we know, and what causes a lot of burnout in our emotionally unstable students. And so when you take this away from us, we don't have the social emotional impact that we can give when we are in our own communities. So I would ask for anyone listening to make sure we go back to the roots where we are seeing right now in our Mother Earth, our values, things work because of our values. And it is so important, not only for our education system, but for humanity, to go back to what we know is true, and that is the values of our tribes. We are now going back and learning what we did back when we sat in circles, and now we're seeing circles in school and the impact on those of morning meetings, and how important it is to create a sense of community in order to learn, because we cannot access that frontal cortex until we have a safe place. And that safe place starts with GYO. And I really hope that you understand the importance of having these communities safe and having this community stay. And I hope that learning through us, and then also inviting anyone who is questioning the importance and what we do, to come to one of our meetings, to come to these things and see really what you're cutting. You're not just cutting a line on a spreadsheet. You are cutting way more than that. So I invite you to come and see what we do and learn from us and learn from our elders. As we all still are trying to learn everything, we are not here to know everything. We're here to learn everything, and we learn together in our GYO. So with that, I would say, please understand the importance of your impacts and your decisions, and do not make decisions without knowing what you're doing. So I invite all of you to come to our Sapsaquasla program and see what we do, so that you can make sure you're making the right decision. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Valorie, for grounding us, for closing us off with that focus on the land and on the original teachings. So, gracias.
De
And
nada.
for that invitation. I will close this off. Again, my name is Andreina Velasco from the David Douglas School District Grow Your Own program. This has been an incredibly uplifting, grounding, beautiful space. And we have work to do. We have work to do to save this program. We have work to do to bring it, pay it forward to our future generations, and to sustain the people who are in the program now. As Valorie said, this is about our values. And we know that legislators believe in these values. We know that you care deeply about balancing the budget and funding programs that positively impact Oregon students and educators, so that the two things that we're asking for is, in this short session, which you're planning for tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, you fight to preserve the second year of GYO funding that was promised, so that current participants like Mel, like Apolonia, like Thúy, like so many others can complete their certification programs and serve our Oregon students. And in the long term, that you seek long-term and sustainable funding for GYO educator pathways. These are programs that work. They're grounded in our values, and you just met a few of our incredible participants. Failure to fund GYO will mean less qualified instructors who care and who represent students serving in Oregon schools and classrooms, from the small classrooms that have 4th to 8th graders like Killian's, to classrooms in Eastern Oregon, to classrooms here in East Portland. We're an incredibly diverse state in rural and urban environments, and GYO serves all of us. So those are our next steps for our legislators, and next steps for funders, for grants, for foundations, is that you provide critical support to stabilize our GYO programs. Many that you heard have lost funding and staff. And in the long term, that you can provide long-term funding for sustainable educator pathways. So to our next slide, this is what each person in this Zoom, and all the people who could unfortunately not get in, we are asking you to do. We're asking you to email your legislators. We dropped the link in the chat. It is extremely easy to do that. Flood their inboxes today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Those are legislative days, and they are planning their priorities, and they need to hear from you that this is a priority for you. Also, you just heard and were moved by incredible testimonies. Please add a 1-minute testimony to our video collection, and also listen to the incredible stories. So now, to close off, we are going to do a chat waterfall. If you have access to the chat, I want you to write one thing that you want legislators to know about GYO. That can be what Valorie said, that GYO is grounded in our values. That can be that we need you to support our current participants. You're going to write that in the chat. but don't hit enter. Do not hit enter. And then I'll tell you when we will put all of our asks in the chat. So go ahead and write in the chat one thing that you want legislators to know about GYO, and you can give a thumbs up when you're ready for that. Okay, I see one thumbs up. Thumbs up when you're ready. Okay, I see others. There we go. Give you probably 10 more seconds. I'm seeing lots of thumbs up. 9 more seconds. And when I get to 1, I'm going to say chat waterfall, and then we're all going to hit enter. So I'm at 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Chat waterfall. There we go. Look at all of these incredible things that we want from our legislators to know. We will save the chat and make sure to share. Thank you to all of our incredible speakers, especially our GYO participants, our mentors. This is what GYO is. It's community, it's power. Thank you so much for your time and for being here, and send those letters to legislators, and stay tuned in more ways that you can advocate for this incredible program. Gracias a todos. Love you. Gracias.